Flag football provides a great opportunity to teach and learn core fundamentals that will not only increase flag pulling consistency, but set the foundation for safer tackling as players get older. Most people assume flag is a much safer format than tackle football, but the reality is injuries continue to rise as more participants enter the game. Tip of the Spear has identified the leading causes of these collisions and missed flag pulls. Players that cannot control their body in space not only struggle with consistency in pulling flags, but this is the leading cause of collisions and injuries in flag football. Players who take poor angles to the ball carrier often find themselves out of position to pull the flag and increases their risk of colliding with another player. Hand and eye coordination plays a big factor in the consistency of pulling flags, but the posture of the body when engaging a ball carrier can be the difference between a game-saving flag pull or a trip to the hospital. Tip of the Spear created the T.A.P acronym to help coaches and players improve their consistency pulling flags and reduce injuries on the field. T.A.P stands for Track, Attack, and Pull. This three-step checklist helps players make quicker decisions on the field so players can play fast and be more confident in their skills. The first step is to track the angle to the ball carrier. Based on your location on the field, which angle best represents your path to the ball carrier, square, lateral, or pursuit? After determining the angle to the ball carrier, the next step is to accelerate and close the distance to the aiming point, which is determined by the tracking angle. As the distance is closed, it's now time to pull the flag. One arm is longer than two, so in most situations it is more advantageous to pull a flag with your nearest arm and hand, but younger players who are still developing dexterity in their non-dominant hand can still use two hands to secure the flag. The most ideal angle to approach the ball carrier on is a square angle, or when you approach the ball carrier from about 45 degrees to either side of their midline. The aiming point on a square flag pole is the nearest hip, which will contain the nearest flag to the defender. As distance is close to the ball carrier, the defender should begin to break down or come to balance and be sure to bring their hands forward and out in front of their body in preparation to pull the flag. We are able to quickly respond to lateral movements by the ball carrier the longer we maintain a square base. Players who fail to come to balance or attempt to pull a flag with one foot far out in front of the other will often struggle with flag pulling consistency. While one arm is longer than two, most square flag pulls present opportunities to pull the flag with two hands. As players advance, challenge them to gain confidence in using their non-dominant hand to pull flags. Most players on the field will find themselves in a lateral angle to the ball carrier. This side angle to the ball carrier presents a bigger challenge because most players still want to run to the nearest hip, but as they close the distance, they generally find themselves behind the ball carrier. To optimize this angle, teach players to aim for a spot just in front of that near hip. This new aiming target is typically 2 to 6 inches in front of the ball carrier. The more athletic your defender is compared to the ball carrier, the closer to the hip the aiming point will be. But the more athletic the ball carrier is compared to your defender, the further out in front the aiming point will be. As players gain experience, they will be able to fine-tune this aiming point. As the defender quickly closes the space to the ball carrier, it's important to transition back under control of your body by coming to balance so you can be more accurate when pulling the flag. The most optimal hand to pull the flag when approaching on a lateral angle is with the upfield arm, or the arm closest to the end zone you are defending. The least ideal angle to any ball carrier is a pursuit angle, which occurs when the defender is behind the hip of the ball carrier. In order to still have a chance to pull the flag, the defender must take a sharp pursuit angle in order to cut off the ball carrier. To help figure out the best pursuit angle to take, start by finding the midline between the ball carrier's current position and the end zone. This aiming point will allow you to accelerate on the most ideal pursuit angle and adjust as needed. The defender cannot take so steep of an angle that it allows the ball carrier to cut back behind, or too flat of an angle where the defender ends up chasing from behind. Defenders should keep their eyes locked on the nearest hip while their bodies run on this new pursuit angle. As the defender closes distance, it may be necessary to adjust the speed or angle. During a pursuit flag pull, there will not be an opportunity to come to balance, so pulling the flag must occur while running. Using the T.A.P flag pulling progression not only will help you improve consistency in flag pulling and reduce the risk of injuries, it also develops the foundation for safer tackling for players who will eventually play tackle football. Tip of the Spear provides resources and drills to help players at all levels dominate on game day. Together, we can improve safety through superior technique.